said, my name is Matthew, and I'm 11 years old and in the 6th grade. This is my project, which is a robotic dog, and it is its parts include the NXT, which is basically its brain. It also includes these motors, which move this little gear here, which moves all these other gears, which will move it, make it go forward, which I programmed it to do, which I'll get into later. These gears are turn other gears, and when you put gears in different ways, they give you mechanical advantage, which can give you speed or torque. Speed is when you go faster, and torque is more power. Which these gear trains are set up to give it more torque, which allows the robot to walk. It also includes these beams, which are static pieces because they do not move, and they are basically the legs of the robot. And as you can see, when the motor is turned, that turns the gears, which move these beams, and it makes a walking motion. And then to make it more stand up better, it has these basically, I want to call them feet, which are made of these two axles right here, connected to these flexible axle rings. And as you can see, pegs right here, as you can see, are also static parts. They do not move, and they hold the beams together. In programming, which is done on these computers, we'll explain how that works. I programmed it to move this. The motor spins around. I recently made an update to make it go around 50 times. And we had to figure out gear ratio calculations. And so as you can see, you figure out the amount of the little teeth for the motor first. As you can see, they have different names: driven gear, driver gear, idler gear. When you find out the teeth, you make a ratio like this, and then you find out how many for one rotation of the driver gear, which is right the second one. You figure out that it's 3.5 rotations for these legs, these gears, which move the legs, which makes 3.5.
And 3 1 by 3, right?
Yeah, 3 1/3. So when this motor right here moves 3 1/3 times, the robot goes 1 step.
All right.
So, are there any questions?
Can we see a demo?
Yeah, you can see a demo. Definitely. This is tested.
So besides being really cute, what can this robot do in the real world?
What I was thinking is that it could be used as a form of entertainment.
Yeah, it totally could be.
It can be programmed to do other things. As I didn't get to this point At least maybe so far, I don't know. But there is also, you can add a tail to this robot, as seen in the instructions. And you can use this ultrasonic sensors, electronic part, which currently doesn't do anything.
You're
Or
planning
you
to
can
program
add
it?
more sensors.
You're planning to program the ultrasonic sensor?
Yes, I am planning. So right now, all it does, it moves.
Dancing.
Dancing right now.
So what's happening there now? Let's do it again.
It's supposed to move. If I get it right.
You move the gears out of place. So.
Yeah.
By the way, making something walk is more difficult than just move on a tank tread or
That's
wheels.
exponentially difficult.
Yeah. So so mom and dad, Matthew's mom and dad, have them research the Honda Ozma project.
Okay.
There's a whole PDF on walking, research on walking.
Okay.
On the Honda Ozma to do
Or even Dartmouth Pet Man is another example.
Oh, it's moving.
Doing it.
You know, we were all like,
It's like Toby.
And it took them 10 years to get Optimo to walk.
You did it in how many weeks?
3 weeks? How long did this one take you?
Hey, look, it's like a full week. Here, like, which would be like 4 hours.
There it goes.
Toby.
It's like better than Pooh.
I know, that was
But you know, man, you can do a lot of improvements to this robot and make it really walk, you know, faster and then also run. And this robot is a great example for my presentation. This robot first stood, and then it walks, and then eventually you can make it fly. Questions?
Does he have a name?
Really for, I don't know if it's you and her, I mean, all of them, it seems to be a very short period of time, so were they novices when they came, were they beginners, like not having any experience, or did they already have some type of experience?
Oh,
They came
well,
or
you should
they-
answer this question. He can answer that
Okay.
question.
Well,
Can you restate the question before you answer?
I really didn't.
She asked you, were you a novice when you first came in, or were you a beginner? Did you have any experience?
When I came here, I had experience. I've been here for like,
2.5 years.
like almost nearly 2.5 years. So
But
that's
when you first came, did you have any experience before that first camp at the Columbia Space Center? Did you have any experience
I
before
did
that?
not have any experience before that with this.
Not even, because I'm thinking as far as having my girls who do not play with remote controls cars and they don't have. that
You
kind
don't
of
need any experience,
Okay.
you just need interest.
Interest.
And persistence.
to be able to-
And not worrying about, oh, this is technology, and that type of a fear may be a little bit of a hindrance. But I should commend Matthew's parents. One of the few families of parents that we work with historically where they are consistent in sending them to the class on a regular basis. And you can see he uses terminologies like mechanical advantage, the gear ratio calculation, which in fact this happens only in a company like Boeing or engineering firms. Not in, they may have mathematical problems, but it's a theoretical problem on a piece of paper. So right now Matthew doesn't even realize how much he knows. That's my feedback on that. He knows a lot more than his peers, even high school level students. I would say not to be able to do it yet.
Are these kits that you're building, or do you start with a kit and then go off on your own design?
So there's a curriculum. The curriculum, the beginner level curriculum, Robot Cadet, because it is a project-based curriculum, we don't assume a grade level. Whether you are, whether you come to the class or this lady comes to the class, you'll have to go through learning the project-based model, learning the process called robotic system development lifecycle, and where they analyze the goal, they design, they build, they program, they test, they understand that this is the sequence, and also analyzing in the design phase what are the different parts needed, and then mentors are there to help them on an individual basis. So she would be working at this computer, using those resources based on the design of the robot, the mission, the goal of the robot, and she will be able to do it in about 3 weeks, 3 months time, once a week for 12 weeks, about 4 projects. So they first understand the processes associated with, and build simple, stable projects. There are examples that I gave for, that's something that stands first, and then something moves, then moves faster, and then adds sensors. So they follow that structure. And then after 3 months, they are able to do more complex projects. So you can see Matthew has advanced more in depth, and that is a very challenging project if you look at the gear ratio applications of it. Does that make does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, where's Matthew? Matthew, that I wanted to point out, the use of terminologies, technical terms that he used is amazing. And I can tell you're like a college level student. You're able to do that and see it, be able to connect with it. Because when I talk about gear ratio in an engineering class, without these things, it's difficult to explain that. So he has mastered that, and he's able to mentor other kids in doing that and understanding that. Any other questions?
I have a general one just for any of the kids. When you guys go back to school and you've accomplished something like this, which is amazing, how does your schoolwork affected? Are you guys kind of top of your class, or your confidence up, or how do you tackle your spelling and math and science at school? You take more interest in it, or yeah, especially you.
I would take more interest. Well, I don't need to take more interest in it because, I've done a few math camps in my life.
Okay.
But I would take this pretty seriously, this camp, because it's just fun, and it's like, I only have 12 weeks, so what's the point of doing nothing here instead of building a robot, which I can never do?
Thank you.
Like, how is it helping you in your school work? When the teacher explains the concept, were you able to, I did this in the mathematics class, and I was able to see how math is used. Were you seeing some of those in your classroom when you go to your regular classes? I think that's what she is trying to ask you. Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes. Only thing except fractions. Which I learned in second grade.
Is this a higher level or lower level than the school?
Higher level. I don't think they would teach us at this level.
I was going to ask you, like in 6th grade, you're not even touching this in math, right? What you're doing here is way beyond what you're learning in your 6th grade math room.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That some of this stuff I've been doing here, I don't even hear that in the classroom for a long time.
Awesome. Anything else? Anybody else? Great. So, ready for the next presentation? Oh, you're taking a picture.